Oh, yeah. Yes. It is Friday night, and we got a great bunch of games, some really great games showing up for both Saturday and Sunday. I'm very excited. Monday, we got the national championship, and I'm going to break down my opinion of the national championship. And I'm going to pull up that line right now, actually. I'm sorry, I got the wrong. Okay. So I'm going to break down the national championship, and then I'm going to give you my predictions. I have action on one game already, and I'm waiting to hear from somebody else about the number two, about the number. There could be action on Saturday as well, but I'm waiting to hear from somebody. But there could be action on Saturday and Sunday. But I'm going to kick off with the college football national championship. But before I do that, let's hear from everybody. I got one Pride 40, man. Welcome. Hopefully you had a great New Year. Yeah, I'm not sure the Jags are a desirable destination with Balky in charge. That is kind of interesting, to be honest with you. That is interesting. I still think that they are a good destination, and the reason why is that you have players at key positions. You have some good pass rushers. Josh Allen is amazing. Was it Le'Veon Chasen? Anyway, the kid out LSU. I loved him coming out. Hasn't really played like it. Miles Jack is a really good linebacker with lots of potential. I think it's kind of been mismanaged, but in the defensive scheme they have now is really, really good. That's probably going to change, though. You got a superstar quarterback, and we're going to talk about this quite a bit, but as of today, as of today, I would have the Jacksonville Jaguars using the first overall pick on a left tackle. So you have a talented left tackle. Now in free agency, if they land a premier left tackle, I don't know who's available yet. And of course, we got a lot to talk about. You have quarterback. You have some skill position talent. I actually think that Jacksonville is actually still a desirable destination, but you have to understand, between now and the draft, a lot of things are going to happen. I want to see who they get as a head coach. I'm more concerned about the head coach than I am about Balky, but that's interesting. Man, I'm glad to hear you. Jimmy, listen, man, I have literally thousands of dollars on the line. Yes, last week I ended up, 2 of my yearly bets hit and 1 missed. Of course, Kansas City Chiefs, I had over 12.5, and I wrote it off when they were 3-4, but I was mathematically still alive until Sunday. If they win Saturday, they'll be 12-5, which is under 12.5. I had over, so I lost that one. However, I had pushes on the Jets under 6 wins, with Tampa Bay beating them. I won on that yearly bet. And then with the Raiders winning against the Colts, the Raiders over 8, I hit. So out of my 4 small yearly bets, I went 3-4. Chiefs winning the AFC West, I bet 200 to win. I think it was 70. And the Jets under 6, and the Raiders over 8, I hit. The Steelers are 8-7-1. I got over 8.5, so I need a win. Yeah, 1,000 on that. And then, of course, the 49ers, I have been saying this since day one. No way they hit 10.5. I got 10 at plus 150, a big number, but I went ahead and risked it. Right now, that's a push, but the Rams beat the 49ers Sunday. I win 1,500. So literally thousands of dollars on the line. So, Funk, what's up, man? Of course, he says I'm going to pull that. Alex, what's up, brother? How's it going, Dan? Don't put money on the Texans-Titans game because the Texans are going to win, since the two teams haven't split a series since 2016. Well, all Chiefs fans are Texans fans, because if the Texans do pull the upset, the Chiefs with a win Saturday will get the 1 seed. So that is every Chiefs fan is pulling for the Texans. I need a win. But if the Titans get a bye, that's huge for the Titans, because if Derrick Henry's healthy for the playoffs, I think if the Tennessee Titans are healthy, there's also in this situation with Bud Dupree, I think the Titans are the best team in the AFC, not my Chiefs. I think the Titans are, but they need Derrick Henry, I would say, over 90% healthy. If he comes back and he's not the same player, the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC. Of course, Chiefs have some injuries, so that bye is really, really important in the AFC. Jacksonville always be desirable. Yeah. Because you got Lawrence as a franchise quarterback. Remember, you also are going to get Travis Etienne. Now, if that Liz Frank injury, is he going to be able the same guy? That's going to be a different situation. But there's talent in Jacksonville. You got a young quarterback. You have a pass rusher. And I'm assuming that you're going to have a really good left tackle. So your key positions in football, your quarterback, your left tackle, and a pass rusher. And I think it's in that order. And I think that with the number 1 pick in the draft, that's what you're going to get. So Jags interview, I did not know this. And I know how much you like Bill O'Brien. I think that they're going to interview a lot of people. I think Doug Peterson gets the job. So, yeah. See, exactly, Dallas. I don't know what this is. If I get any more kind of goofy spam stuff like this, now welcome if this is legit, but this is some spam shit. Those of you who got a wrench, ban this motherfucker. However, you're welcome into the show. Always new people are welcome, but I have no tolerance for this spam bullshit. So, who's going to? It'll be. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I need the Rams to win. I literally $1,000 on the line. So yeah, I need the Rams to win. Bill O'Brien's going to interview and most likely get. I don't think so. I think Bill O'Brien will interview for multiple jobs, both college and pro. His deal at Alabama is going to be a one and done type of deal, but I don't think he's going to get the job in Jacksonville. I still think Doug Peterson's going to get that job. I think he's the best candidate. And I think that you want you got a guy who's a former quarterback in Doug Peterson. Worked with Andy Reid, took Philly to a Super Bowl. He's, I think, going to get that job, and I think he's the best candidate. I want to take Georgia, but I don't trust that. We are going to talk about that. So I got some really great comments, man. That's what it's going to be interesting. You want $1,500, and I need Stafford to throw pick sixes. Well, yeah, I really. Can we have both, James? Can we get both? Can Stafford throw a pick six and the Rams win? I actually, you know what? I believe Garoppolo is going to play, but he's not 100%. So maybe both things can happen. Don't matter about. I think it does. Very nice. I'll be 5-on-5 for future bets myself. The Jets pull off a miracle upset against the Bills. Otherwise, 4 for 5 and won't get Pat's win. Yeah, I wouldn't bet on that, but I wouldn't bet on that. However, I think that we're going to have some really good matchups in the playoffs. I'm not going to touch base on the playoffs yet because I kind of want to see everything. But it looks like there's going to be some really, really fun matchups. J.J. Watt and Hopkins are being said to be able to return for the first round of the playoffs, which would have them rejoin Arizona when they face. Yes. And that's going to be a fun game. That's probably something I'm going to see if I can get a hold of Alex, I get a hold of Corey, a.k.a. the Red Sea. And I definitely will be asking about that. So, yeah. I did lousy betting against the spread this season, so my future. Yeah, I did not have a good. Well, I did not have a good year for over unders. However, I have one bet already placed, and I'm waiting on one of my regulars to come back with some information. He's not joined yet, but I'm waiting for some information because there could possibly be some action on Saturday. Yeah, I know you like Caldwell, One Pride. I wouldn't hate the hire, to be honest. I think Peterson's on a different level, in my opinion, but that would not be a bad hire. I'd be interested if he wants to run, because he's an offensive-minded guy, but he's always run a Tampa 2 type of defense. And what Jacksonville did is they ran a 4-3. They switched to that 3-4 Baltimore scheme under new defensive coordinator. I can't think of his name. He was the Ravens linebackers coach. And I thought that was a really good fit. So if you go back to that Tampa 2, that's a great fit for Josh Allen. Kavion Chasen, that he would have to bulk up a little bit. I think he's a 3-4 outside linebacker, but in that Tampa 2 scheme, the problem is they have nobody to play defensive tackle. So you would have to invest heavily either in free agency or in the draft on defensive tackles. So that's kind of what I'd be looking at. Miles Jack would actually be a great middle linebacker in that Tampa 2 system. And then the secondary would need some help. Offensively, I think it would work out. So it'd be interesting, but I think Peterson's going to get that job. We'll find out, man. We'll find out. James, you got money on Stafford throwing pick sixes. I don't know, man. Hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. I really need, come on, man. I need that 1,500. Not for cocaine. Not for cocaine. I said first week I was on here, Arizona is able to get off to a hot start. Then LA would be able to get back into it, win their division. And right now, yeah, I really need the Rams to win this one. I really need the Rams to win this one. So yes, I really need the Rams to win this one. Hey, I was right on. Yeah. And I was dead wrong on that. And that's one thing I admit when I'm wrong. You were definitely right on that. I was wrong. For those of you who don't know, when Stafford was going to be traded, I said, you're looking at a 3rd round draft pick, maybe a second. One Pride's like, no, you're going to get 2 ones. Detroit's going to get 2 ones. I'm like, man, you're crazy, One Pride. He said, Dan, no, you watch. And he was right. I was wrong. So Caldwell's one of the worst. I think Doug Peterson would be a much better choice, in my opinion. But I bet on that before the season started, so don't have much of a choice. Still cashed in on it. Yeah. You're talking about the Patriots or the Bills? But yeah. And Funk doesn't have action on pick sixes. No pick sixes for Stafford. Harbaugh. Okay. Let's touch base on that. There are some rumors that Jim Harbaugh will take over as the Raiders coach. He has a good relationship with the Raiders owner. I think he would be a good fit for the Raiders organization. The only thing is that how does he get along with Derek Carr? Because for those of you who don't know, when he took over at San Francisco, they had Alex Smith, number 1 overall pick in the draft. He drafted Colin Kaepernick, and he did a brilliant move when Alex Smith went down. He had a concussion and was going to be gone for a couple of weeks. They instituted a college type of scheme, made it very easy for Colin Kaepernick to adjust. And then when he left, they wanted Colin Kaepernick to run an NFL offense. He wasn't equipped for that. I'm going to stop ranting about Kaepernick right now. But does he want to run a basic type of college offense again, or is he run an NFL offense? If he wants to run an NFL offense, the Raiders are the perfect team for him. I think that if he wants to run an NFL heavy run-based offense, you have the offensive line in play. You have to add some players, all right? But you have your left tackle. You have Alex Leatherwood, who's going to be a good piece. He struggled at tackle year 1. They moved him inside the guard, still struggled, but he's still a good centerpiece. So you have to add some interior players. Remember, they lost Rodney Hudson in free agency to Arizona. Their offensive line's not bad. Harbaugh going to the Raiders makes sense to me. Do I think it happens? I don't know. I'll be honest. I think Harbaugh's happy at Michigan. They have a great recruiting class. They have a lot of incoming talent. But he may just say, hey, you know what? Ohio State's loaded. Ohio State's loaded. Penn State's coming back with a lot of talent. Michigan State's an up-and-coming team. He may just say, you know what? I hit my ceiling going to the college football playoffs. Let me go back. And here's the thing. Let's say he fails with the Raiders. He can get a Power 5 job anywhere. Anywhere. He might be able to go back to Michigan. You never know. But I mean, Nick Saban, he left LSU for Miami, came back to Alabama, actually got a better job. I mean, it's debatable if Alabama's better than LSU. Some people would argue that. I don't think so. I think Alabama's better than LSU. They give him more money. So, and there could be an SEC job. Could Harbaugh take an SEC job? That's a possibility. So, I would not be surprised if he takes that job. That'll be an interesting development. So, One Pride 40 says no. Why you need him? Honestly, hope he has a great game this week and just loses the wild card weekend. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping for the same thing, except I'm interested to see what he does. What the Rams do in the playoffs, but yes, I need the Rams to win. That's a big one. I don't have action on that game, believe it or not. I got another game. Need Georgia to beat Bama. We are going to start off with that. I'm going to get through some of these comments and then we'll go. Yeah, absolutely. I don't blame you. I don't blame you, James, man. By the way, man, I haven't seen you in a while, man. It's goddamn good to see you, man. Okay, I'm drinking tea. I woke up this morning. I had a sore throat, so I'm drinking tea. First time ever. Not an energy drink, not coffee. I'm drinking tea. Texans draft is looking good right now. 2 first-rounders, 2 more likely on the way for Watson. They have 1 fifth-rounder and 3 sixth-rounders from trades that are good to go. We're going to talk a lot about the draft. Me and you were chatting about what the Texans could do in the draft, and it's going to be a lot of fun. The Texans are going to be a fun team in the draft. It'll be very interesting to see what they do in free agency and in the draft. They're going to be a lot of fun because I could see them trading down. Getting a bunch of players if they're not happy with Davis Mills, then where do they take the quarterback? Do they take the quarterback at 3? Do they want to trade down? The Texans are going to be a fun team come draft time and or the early round of free agency. So we're going to do a lot of draft talk here. The Pat. Okay, you got the Pats. Okay. Good luck, man. Good luck. That's a tough order though for the Jets to beat the Bills. So. Yeah, the Lions are going to be a fun team. Now, all the teams in the top are going to be very interesting. The Jets are a great team draft time. So are the Giants. This year's draft is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I was hoping the curse would follow Stafford to LA, but you don't know. Let me ask you this, James. If the Rams go make the playoffs and lose in the opening round of the playoffs, right? They lose a home playoff game. Wouldn't you consider that season a failure? Because if the Rams, let's just say playoffs, let's say they get the 2 seed. All right. Just off the top of my head, let's just say the 2 seed. All right. Who would they play? Who would they play in the playoffs? All right. You know what? I apologize because I don't have this memorized off the top of my head, but I can find it real fast here for you. Let me just break out the playoff rankings. All right, let's just go today. So they were the 2 seed. Oh, well, hopefully they lose to hopefully San Francisco, but to be honest, Rams San Francisco playoff game. But anyway, that's how it is today. It would be 2 versus 6. And right now San Francisco is 6. But let's just say the Rams win and they get the 2 seed still. All right, more than likely they would play Philly. If Philly beats the Rams in the playoffs, wouldn't that be a bad season for the Rams? I think it would be. I think the curse would still be in effect. Yeah, this week won't really affect it. We get Yeah. Though the 7th rounder from the Reed trade with Seattle has been lost to them not playing Reed for 6 games. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, but Stafford implodes like all Lions fans think it won't matter who he plays, right? And that's a big deal. I mean, that number 2, they could be anywhere. For the way I understand it, it could be anywhere from 2 to 4. I don't know if they have the playoff. I don't know if Dallas wins and the Rams lose. I don't know if Dallas leapfrogs over the Rams off the top of my head, but we'll go over all that next week. What I'm saying is there's a dysfunction at the tops of Jags. I actually don't think so. I think they got a really good owner and a smart owner. I don't know about the Balke situation. So Harbaugh didn't use the portal. Dan, does Casey go off against the Broncos tomorrow and take it easy and rest for the playoffs? That's an interesting question. I think they go off. I think they explode because they could still get the 1 seed and they need the 1 seed. I don't know if Orlando Brown or if Louis Nang, both those players were injured in the Cincinnati game. The Chiefs also both are starting tackles. What they did is that when Orlando Brown, he went down in pregame warmups. He's starting left tackle, went to a Pro Bowl. He went down. They moved Louis Lang, the starting right tackle, over to the left side. He got hurt in the first quarter. So then what he did is, so what she said, took their left guard, moved him out to left tackle, played awesome, and then they put backups at left guard and right tackle. Not an ideal situation. They both played phenomenal. The Chiefs have good offensive line depth, but when you're starting 2 tackles get hurt in the playoffs, it's a big deal. I don't know who's healthy, but no, they will go off on Denver. I expect a blowout win. But I'm not taking 11, just so you know. But I'm waiting to hear from somebody because there may be action available on Saturday. So, no, he don't, but Tuck does. Oh, okay. I misunderstood that. Harbaugh hasn't used the portal, but Tuck does. And to be honest, Michigan just out recruits Michigan State as of now. That could change. I think this year Michigan has out recruited Michigan State. I don't have the official numbers in front of me though. I remember he left MSU for LSU, and no offense, LSU is a better job than Michigan State at the time. It definitely was. I still think it is. So. Another rumor I've seen floating around Houston is Laramie Tunsil on being on the trade block, being a package deal with Watson, add 2 more first rounders and another second. That would be interesting. And you would have to get a replacement for Tunsil, who's a good, not great left tackle. He has a high contract. I've seen the rumors too. I'm not putting a lot of stock into Tunsil being on the trade block though. So. I got a guy that makes T2 buttons. The trade will heavily lighten Houston's cap and wouldn't technically be impossible to trade since they're a good left tackle. There are good tackles in the draft, which is interesting because with your first number 1, and we'll talk a lot more about the draft, you're going to want edge rusher. More than likely, the way the draft looks like it's going to go is that you'll get an elite edge rusher available. That's what you want to use if you have Lovie Smith there, because that's what your defense is based upon. Is that your front 4? Your second one, could you get left tackle? Sure. So, I mean, James, that's great to hear, man. That's great to hear, man. All right, just get this fucker out of here. Get this fucker out of here. I'm gonna here. Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna block this motherfucker. If anybody sees anything like that. Oh, the T. Oh, okay. No, this is just herbal regular tea. It's not specialty. It's just. Everyone was projected to go to the Super Bowl. Stafford plays well in the next game, and they win. He'll win his first. You're right. I didn't think about that. So, Texans aren't looking to pick a QB at 3rd. GM Nick Castiero has made it public they wish to stick with Mills. Okay, that would be smart. And I don't know if you can still get Tyrod Taylor to stay. That would be the perfect situation. Tyrod Taylor as the backup quarterback. That would that would be the perfect situation. If you can't do that, then that's a problem. But yeah. Alex, you want Thibodeau? He's all yours. Are you thinking one of those Kelsey big receiving yards and 400 yards for Mahomes kind of game? Okay. I'm waiting to hear from Denver Gator because the over-under on the game, I'm going to spoil this. The over-under is 44-45. There's supposedly going to be thunderstorms in the area, but it's low wind. Kelsey prop bets are going to be good. I'm waiting to hear on the official weather report because if it's just rain and it's in the 40s, that's not freezing rain. That's perfect for over weather. That's an over bet all day long. 400 for Mahomes, no. CEH is out, but the Chiefs are going to run the ball. Now, I know Denver's been, stingy. The defense is good, don't get me wrong, but Mahomes the Chiefs' offense has been able to go against Denver pretty well. Kelsey receiving good, don't take 400. Don't take 400. I don't see that happening. Houston will either trade down from 3 or go for the edge, Eden Hutch. Okay. If Hutchinson or Thibodeau is available, that is what you're going to get. You're going to get that. I don't think you can trade down from 3, though. I don't think that there's going to be a team that trades up. Right now, today, here's how I see the draft. Jacksonville, I think, will take a left tackle. All right, they franchised Cam Robinson. They weren't really happy with him. He wants big money. He'll be a free agent left tackle. I thought coming out that he would be better as right side, but he played really well his rookie season. Then he's had some injuries. I don't know if there's a team he'll probably go and get big money somewhere else. Okay. I think Jacksonville takes a left tackle. Detroit at number 2, I think takes Hutchinson. And then right now, number 3, Thibodeau would end up being with the Houston Texans. And I think all 3 of those picks make sense. That's how I see the draft going currently. However, in free agency, if Cam Robinson is re-signed or if Jacksonville lets him go and signs a left tackle, then Jacksonville could go with either Hutchinson or Thibodeau. It could be wide open. But as of right now, I think that they take a left tackle. Then I think Detroit will take Hutchinson. And then I think Thibodeau. That's how I have it today. And I think that makes sense for everybody. Don't be surprised if they hire Caldwell. It's a possibility. I would love to have Thibodeau. Yeah, that's what I see happening. And Thibodeau, be honest, Thibodeau and Hutchinson in that Tampa 2 system would really flourish. That would be a big win for both of them. So, sure. Okay. There's no sugar. There's no. Dan, that was a random weird comment. It didn't seem offensive, and it wasn't spam. I've been getting some weird spam in the chat here, but man, I appreciate you getting my back, Funk, man. I love that. Yeah, I do too, man. James, I love the foul weather games. Alex, you should trade up for him at. Here's the problem. Jacksonville cannot trade out of 1. All right, they can't trade out of 1. At 2, Detroit can trade down. That's a possibility. I don't think they'll be able to because I think what you're going to see is kind of a log jam. Is that which one's better? It depends on what flavor. All right, Hutchinson, Thibodeau, and Khalifdis I think are going to probably be the 2, 3, and 4 prospects. I think Jacksonville will go at the left tackle, and then those 3 could go 2, 3, and 4. And I don't think there's really a lot of difference between the guys. I think Detroit will take the local kid. Normally, I would be advised against drafting a local kid just for the fact that you want to sell jerseys, but Detroit will want to sell a lot of jerseys, and I think most people have him as the number 1 prospect. Not only that, because he has more size than Khalifdis or Thibodeau. He could play in that 5 technique in a 3-4. And you may say, Dan, you don't want to do that. Well, Joey Bosa played that 5 technique and was dominant. And that's kind of the same type of player I see. But if I'm Hutchinson, I'd rather play in a 4-3 Tampa system where I'm on the outside, way outside, and I'm not getting beat up. So if I'm Hutchinson, I would rather go to Houston than Detroit. But now Thibodeau, on the other hand, some people would say he's a 3-4 outside linebacker. I don't see that. I think he's a perfect 4-3 guy. His best fit would be Houston in that Tampa 2 system. All right. But here's the thing. Houston could take Kalifdis. They could take Hutchinson. They could take Thibodeau. So I think that there's no need for them to trade up. They'll just take whoever whoever Detroit doesn't want. So that possibility. Yeah, I went and blocked them. So I also heard Houston will take a running back in their first 5 picks, and then me and you talked about this. I'll share our conversation. I have a major man crush on Breece Hall, the Iowa State running back. I love this kid. I thought that there was a chance that he may go late first round. The Draft Network, I put a lot of stock in what the Draft Network says. They got him rated as like 120, 140, somewhere in that, basically a 3rd, 4th round pick. This is an A-plus guy. This is a 3-down back, set an NCAA record, 24 straight games with a rushing touchdown. He can catch the ball. He's big. He doesn't have that 4-3, score from anywhere on the field type of speed. He doesn't need that with his type of size and ability. He's a guy that at the combine, if he cracks 4.6, he could go anywhere from late first to a 2nd round. He's going to be a guy I think is really going to skyrocket throughout the process because he's a big back. He's a 3-down back. And I really want to see what he runs and how he does at the combine. But he's a guy that I think Houston would absolutely love because he's that 3-down back that I think you want. So if we trade the 3rd pick, we are trading down. Yeah. There's no way Houston's going to trade 3-2. There's no way because basically all 3 of these prospects are going to be basically graded out the same. Kalifdis may not be at the same rank, but this is a guy. He reminds me a lot of Bradley Chubb, who's just been a really, really good player. So I know one probably. If anyone trades up, 3 could be a sweet. Yeah. 3 would be interesting. And here's the thing, the Jets, I could see the Jets because they got 2 first-round picks, early first-round picks. I could see the Jets trying to get to either 3 or 2 if they fall in love with one of these edge rushers. They need an edge rusher too. But I think that what they'll do, if the Jets are at 4, I think they'll just take best available. And that's kind of what I see as the draft going is 2, 3, and 4 just being those edge rushers. But we'll wait and see. There could be the Jets could take Hamilton. Detroit could take Hamilton. But I kind of think that 1's a lock. Nobody's trading out. There could be a team to trade up to 2. But here's the thing. Detroit's not going to get the quote unquote, the great value. Like they're not going to get like 3 number 1s or something crazy like that. So, but yeah. I know you would. Just check. Yeah. Okay. I saw 40% chance of rain and 8-mile-an-hour winds, and I'm waiting to hear from Denver Gator. I sent him a message, but he said he's watching porn. So no, I'm joking. I haven't heard from him, but I sent him a message. I was like, because he's in Denver. I was like, what's the weather going to be like? Let me know. If he chimes in with comments like that, 20% chance, I'm taking over. I'm taking over right now, but I haven't heard from him yet. So if I hear from him right now while I'm live, I'll make the bet live on the over. I'm probably going to take the over anyway, but I'm waiting to hear the weather report from Denver. So over, yeah. You think Hutch is a bust? I don't think so, but it'll be very interesting to see where he goes. I think Houston. I think he'd have a lot more success in Houston than he would in Detroit, but I don't think he's a bust. Well, I think KC over. Yes, I like it. I like over. Yeah, I like that. Bad weather or not, I really think Kansas City is going to treat this game like a playoff game, and I think Denver is really going to kind of pack it in. Drew Lock is. He knows this is his last game. I don't think he's really going to risk injury. I think Denver is just. I would not be surprised if Denver just completely lays down for this game. I would not be surprised. So, Detroit's in a good situation. The coaching staff, though, in my opinion, has a lot to be desired. The style of the staff. Yeah, they do. I think they make a change at the offensive coordinator position. Maybe bring some different people in. But Aaron Glenn hasn't done a bad job his first year as defensive coordinator. He hasn't done a great job, but he hasn't been terrible. I think the offense is bad, but they need a massive influx of talent. So. Don't be surprised if we take Hamilton. I could see that. And if Luke G says it, then I'll go with it. But I would not be surprised. I want to see what he comes in at the combine. If he's 6'4", 220 and runs like under 4.45, then I wouldn't be surprised if Detroit says, hey, we're going to take this guy. But they need pass rushers. But this is a heavy draft in pass rush. See, well, let's just say they 25. You may be able to get a really good pass rusher at 25. But either at 2 or 25, you're going to get a pass rusher. You really need it. Detroit should be competitive soon with Rodgers retiring in the next few years and next competition being the fumble Vikings and the baby. Well, you know what? We're gonna talk a lot about the new coaching. I think Zimmer and Nagy are both gone. It'll be really interesting to see what they do because I think both teams with the right coaches could be playoff ready in 2022. And then Green Bay, I mean, your guess is as good as mine is what Aaron Rodgers does. I mean, Aaron Rodgers made the man to trade. Knock on wood, he doesn't end up in Denver. A lot of people are saying that he'll be in Denver next year. It makes sense. He could go to Pittsburgh. He could retire. I mean, who knows what Rodgers does. But the Vikings and Bears with a new coach could be ready to roll right away. I really think both those teams are really – I think both those teams really should be playoff caliber teams. With the Bears, you got to find a coach who can coach up Fields. I think they need an offensive coach. Let's say you take a defensive guy, right? Because that defense is loaded. That defense is ready to win a Super Bowl. They have to fix the offense. That's all the Bears need to do. With the Vikings, they have to fix the defense, which is the reason why I think Zimmer's gone is because the defense has not played well. The offense is a Super Bowl caliber offense. So it's kind of funny. You got Super Bowl caliber offense and you got Super caliber defense. So it's kind of funny because to tell you the truth, you could switch both coaches. And that would be a good fit for both, except Zimmer wants to run a 4-3 system and Chicago's built on that 3-4. So it's crazy because Hutch seems like a Campbell guy and Tibbs seems more like a Holmes guy. The Lions run a lot of 3-4 under and 2-4 under. Both would fit. The right outside linebacker Harris is in by question to run D. I think Hutchinson would be better suited. Thibodeau would have to play outside linebacker in that style of defense. That's why I don't see that. But Hutch is a guy that I think Campbell would really, really like. I think that would be a guy that I think he would really like. So, seeing some talk about Zach Charbonnet. Yeah, Zach Charbonnet and Breece Hall, same type of player. They're both 6'1", 220, 230, somewhere in that range. 3-down players. Zach Charbonnet I thought he was pretty good at Michigan. Now he went to UCLA, played really well. Breece Hall's a guy. Actually, right now, Charbonnet's ranked a lot higher than Breece Hall, but I think once the combine comes out, I think Breece Hall's going to kind of skyrocket up the ranks. I watched the guy play. I watched both these guys play. They're both very similar type of players. So, yeah, both these guys would be good fit for your Texans. They're both 3-down players, and both these guys I think would be able to contribute as rookies and have really good rookie seasons. And for you fantasy football guys, Zach Charbonnet and Breece Hall, you can get those guys probably after round 6, and they could be they could be number 1 running backs on your fantasy team. For those of you who do fantasy football. Neither does the ends make sense for the Lions when they believe in Okura and Harris. Well, you'd have to tell me if these are defensive ends that are 5 techniques, you need help at the outside linebacker, and then you would probably not take either one of these guys at 2. You would probably go ahead and take Hamilton at 2, and then at pick 25, take an outside linebacker. So So that's what you'd be looking at. Cletus, on the other hand, seems like a Campbell guy, and he seems better against the run. Just saying, I want a 3-down player. So give me Hamilton. He can play any scheme. He's blue chip. Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. I don't think he's the best player available. I think that he would be below both Hutchinson and Thibodeau, maybe Cletus. I don't know. We'll have to wait till the combine comes out. I'm not going to do a big board. But I am anxious to see how these guys perform at the combine and then later how they perform at the pro day. I also want to hear how they sound in the interview process. I've heard Thibodeau, NFL teams are in love when they talk to this kid. And I think people are going to love Hutchinson, former NFL, player was his dad. So I think both these guys are going to interview very well. I don't know how Kalithis and Hamilton are going to interview, but that's going to be big. Really? When Pride 40 says the Lions don't like Hutch, that's interesting. High altitude in Denver could be a visitor. They're playing Kansas City. Kansas City is used to it. The Kansas City's been dominant in Denver the last several years. So there's nothing special. It's just herbal tea. Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with free agency. A lot of it has to do with free agency. I don't think Hutch will be a bust, but I don't see the Watt brothers in him like everybody else. I think it's because he's I think he reminds me a lot of Bosa, and I'm not sure. Maybe it is because he's white and wears number 97. And I've often wondered that. Is it because he looks like one of the Bosa brothers that he reminds me of a Bosa brother? I mean, 97, tall, white. I don't know. You know what, Funk? I want to say no, I don't see that, but I that might be it. It might just be a color thing. It might just be a color thing. But I since you guys brought him up to me, that's one of the reasons I do this show is I hear from you guys. I think it was one Pride 40. He's like, have you seen this Hutchinson kid in Michigan? I was like, no, I haven't seen him play. But I'll start watching him, and I started watching him, and I'm like, yeah, he number 97 looks like Joey and Nick Bosa, 97 white. But yeah, he reminds me, and both those guys are A+ players. I wouldn't hate Kalifdis. Kalifdis would not be a bad fit at 2. He would not. If he ends up being the same type of player Bradley Chubb is, he would be a great fit. And Bradley Chubb plays outside linebacker, even though he's built like a 4-3 defensive end. And if Kalifdis can play outside linebacker, I don't see that because I saw 6'4", 275, but Tamba Ali was a 6'3", 275 defensive end. They put him at outside linebacker, dominant outside linebacker. But Kalifdis, if you're looking at Bradley Chubb clone, that would be a great player, and he would play at outside linebacker. But I think I still think Kalifdis and Thibodeau 4-3 defensive ends, but they could maybe possibly play 3-4. I don't think they're natural fits at 3-4. Kalifdis, I think, would fit a 4-3 Tampa 2 scheme, either that the Jets run or the Houston Texans run. I know the Jets run a wide 9. It's very similar to a Tampa 2, though. We'll hold you to that. We'll hold you to that. So Hamilton and Kalifdis, I'm good. I think Set should take a receiver high to play with. There's going to be massive upgrades. The one thing I can promise you the Detroit Lions are going to do is the Detroit Lions are going to add receivers in free agency. I wouldn't be surprised if they sign 2 receivers in free agency and draft 1 or 2. So. What I know, Houston is committed to building up the trenches into both D and O, looking how Nick did with Roy Lopez, a good feeling. Yeah, I think that this is a perfect draft for the Houston Texans because you're going to get an elite edge rusher to go along with Lopez. And Blacklock, I have a major man crush on Blacklock. Absolutely love Blacklock. So this is a perfect draft for the Houston Texans. At 3, you're going to get an elite edge rusher. I'm sorry, that's my neighbors. They suck. You're going to get either Kalifdis, you're going to get Hutchinson, or you're going to get Thibodeau. And out of those 3, I think Thibodeau would be the one because he has the highest ceiling. Thibodeau has the highest ceiling. You can debate Hutchinson or Kalifdis has the lowest floor. I think as of today, I think Hutchinson would have the lowest floor. But we'll find out more when the combine comes around, because I want to see what these guys look like. The offense in Detroit has been better with Dan Campbell calling plays, and Goff is actually taking shots kind of crazy. That your offense is going to get a lot better. I mean, you got DeAndre Swift. I think you started using him better, and I think that he got a lot tougher and bulked up a little bit in the offseason. And hopefully, if I'm Swift, I'm putting on, I call it the NFL 20, but it doesn't have to be exactly 20 pounds. But the Lions ideally would have Swift be your every down back. In a different offense, like if he was a Chief like I wanted, he would probably have about 15 touches a game. But in Detroit, I think he could be an every down back. He would still need to bulk up a little bit, but when he's healthy, he's been explosive. You also have a really good tight end. You have a Pro Bowl tight end. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown, a receiver who's been playing better and better this year. This is what's happened in Detroit. Is exactly what you want, believe it or not. A very bad season, but as the season's gone on, you got better and better and better and better, and that's what you're wanting. And I told you from the very beginning of the season you're going to have a bad year this year, but the foundation's solid. So yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's a massive drop off in safety after Hamilton, then Thibodeau to Benito. Like the safety, you guys know better than I do. The Michigan safety, I'm seeing he's going to be a first round draft pick. He's probably the number 2 safety in the draft. I can't think of what his name is off the top of my head, but if you go edge rush with the number 2 pick, which I think you're going to do, you can get that Michigan safety at the end of round 1, and I think he'd be a good fit. I don't know his name off the top of my head. I've been going through mock drafts and, posting different stuff on social media, but I know he's eligible and he's probably going to be a first round pick. So, James, there are a few wide receivers that would work at the end of the first round, beginning of second. I think Holmes would want London. That's a guy that the Corey to Red Sea absolutely loves, and he wants him in Arizona. We're going to do a lot of draft talk when the draft comes around. I haven't had a chance to really look at them, to be honest. I disagree that defense is getting old. Are you talking about the Texans defense? I think Goff has Goff does, yeah. We'll draft Hutch or Thibs. I'm throwing yeah, I think it is too. Hutch said he don't want to be right here. That might turn. I didn't know he'd say that, and that was very dumb if he did say that. Got to get rid of. Yeah, I think he'll be gone. It costs too much money, and it's not an impact player. He was brought in for Patricia only. Goff is good QB, but no support around him. He is very much not enough. I think Detroit goes for a quarterback next year. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I think that you got to give him this year, next year. But if he excels, you may pass on a quarterback completely. But I really think that Detroit will draft a quarterback next year. They could take one this year. Don't be surprised if somebody falls in the second round that they really like. They take a quarterback in the second round. So Goff is trash. Most quarterbacks only average 4 yards and attempt at the best. Yeah, that is true. But I don't think he's trash, but he's not elite. But I don't think he's trash. So I went Nick Bonita for the Lions. I think he fits perfectly. I'm drawing a blank on who that is. That name sounds familiar. I'm just drawing a blank. I think Hutchinson said he was. Oh, okay. Let me paraphrase. He said growing up he was a Patriots fan. Nothing wrong with playing at Michigan and not being a Lions fan. Believe it or not, there's lots of Michigan Wolverines that are not Lions fans, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I saw the same interview. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That's not going to affect the Lions coaching staff or the Lions brass from drafting him at all. With Reed leaving in free agency, most likely this offseason, Houston is looking to draft for a good safety to replace his spot. A name I've seen is Louis Cine. I don't know who that is off the top of my head. I would be shocked if Hutchinson was available at 3. I would be shocked. I'm sorry, not Hutchinson. Hamilton, the safety out of Notre Dame. I would be shocked if Houston went that route with an elite pass rusher available, but we'll have to take a look. Yeah, Funk, you should check out this kid from Penn State. His name is I do not. Yeah, I'll check him. I'll check him out too. But I'm not focused on the draft as much, even though I've looked at literally hundreds of mock drafts already. Yeah, he grew up a New England fan. Yeah, exactly. That's not going to affect the Lions at all. I think if Detroit drafted Hutchinson, Campbell would make him a believer. He would. I think these two together would really work, and I think that he would move them around too. I think he would play, a 5 technique outside linebacker. He would play a little inside outside. He'd be creative. You like who? Oh, this Aaron. I don't know who that is. I'll check him out. I will check him out. I'd still hate that we Thibodeau, Deion Jordan, ooh. I remember Deion Jordan. I remember Miami drafted him at 3, and I was like, what the hell? And I never thought he was worth the number 3 pick. I had no idea what the Dolphins were thinking. But I think Thibodeau's more athletic than Deion Jordan, though. Deion Jordan also had some drug issues, and it may have been steroids, but I remember he missed a year, failed drug tests. Oh, I think the problem with the run game is coaching staff like Williams, too much for Swift to get premier staffs. Well, I thought I was going to sneeze, maybe. Excuse me. I think you're going to get a new offensive coordinator and some new offensive philosophies. So, Antonio Brown went unclaimed on waivers and is now officially a free agent. He is unlikely to be seen. Okay. I'll touch base on Antonio Brown. The NFL Network said that there's a chance Dallas or Green Bay signs him. I don't think Green Bay would. Dallas is a possibility. It would not surprise me if Dallas Cowboys said, hey, we'll sign him for the playoffs. I think that a team will sign Antonio Brown next year. Out of all the teams that could sign him, it would not surprise me if Dallas signs him. It would not surprise me. But I heard on the NFL Network that he could go to Green Bay. He could go to Dallas. Remember, Tampa Bay signed him late, and he was key for that playoff run. But I would be shocked if Green Bay took a shot. But Dallas, I could see that. Somebody posted on some social media, I can't remember if it was Instagram or Twitter, about Antonio Brown in a Chiefs uniform. That definitely will not happen. I can promise that. Yeah, he's been playing better. He's been playing better. The AB News. Yeah, I was seeing that. I could see 7. Hey, we'll wait and see. Hill is nice, but if they don't go Hamilton, I'd rather Briscar battle, but no one covers the ground like Hamilton. I mean his range is impressive, but I still don't know if he's the best player available at 2. Okay, exactly. Just draft. It's all Michigan players of it. Oh, okay. Is he he's not the inside linebacker? Okay, yeah, he from what I've heard, 2nd or 3rd round grade. I want to see what he does at the combine. So Miami is still being said to be in the hunt for the Watson trade. So I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think that they're going to go with Tua. I think that's fine. It says reverse Houston over us. Cine is pronounced Cine, and he's the safety from Georgia. Oh, well, okay. You know what? I'm almost caught up on the comments here. I'm going to talk about the national championship, and then I'll break down everything. Oh my God, this is awesome. I think he's overrated, not very good in run defense, take plays off and no hand moves. Okay, fair enough. All right. National championship game. Georgia is favored by 2.5, which I was kind of surprised about. I thought Alabama would be favored, but Georgia is favored by 2.5. Now I'm using the MyBookie numbers here. By the way, I have a link below if you want to check it out and use the MyBookie website if you want to put some action down on the NFL or on the national championship game. Here's how I look at it. What Alabama did was they exploited. It's not a weakness in the Georgia defense, but the one thing, there's a bunch of crap here. Okay. All right. What they did is they were able to pass against Georgia. Now, you cannot run against Georgia, but you can throw against them, even though they got a lot of NFL players in that secondary. So here's how I look at the national championship. Quarterback, Alabama is the better quarterback. All right. Alabama is the better quarterback. That's a no-brainer. Okay. Alabama is a better quarterback. Better receivers probably goes to Alabama. Running backs and tight end is definitely favored by Georgia. And I think the offensive line's a push. A lot of people would say Alabama has the better offensive line. But I would argue it's a push. All right. So what does this mean? Okay. In a high-scoring game, in a game that's a shootout, teams are scoring quickly, Alabama 100% has the advantage. Just like in the SEC championship game, they had big plays, and that's what happened. I'm going to disclose this. I do not follow college football even close as I do to pro football, but this is just what I see. Defensively, Will Anderson, if he came out in this year's draft, I think he would go number 1. I think he is that good. Nakobe Dean, I was talking to somebody on Twitter who called him a smaller, slower version of Devin White, which is not an insult. But I'm not sure Nakobe Dean. I'm dying to see what he measures out in, because I remember 56 minutes having a brain freeze. The Georgia linebacker who's number 58 with the Chicago Bears. I love this guy. And I'm drawing a complete blank. Former Georgia Bulldog, same type of player. Should have went to a Pro Bowl. He didn't get it. But one of the best I'd say one of the 5 best middle linebackers in football. I think he's that good. Nakobe Dean does a lot of the same things. I'm hearing he may measure in at 5'10", 215. And it doesn't matter what he runs. That's not that is not a middle linebacker in the NFL. All right, he might be better suited for safety, but if he measures in at 6 foot 220 and he runs under 4.45, you can say, hey, we'll put 10, 20 pounds on him and we'll be good to go. So I guess my point is, who has a better linebacking core? That's up for debate, but the better defensive line, believe it or not, is Georgia. I think Alabama's the better secondary. Okay, so what does this mean? In a low-scoring game, Georgia actually has the advantage. In a high-scoring game, Alabama has the advantage, and that's what you saw in the SEC championship game. So, for the winner of the national championship, I'm going with I thought it would be an upset, but Georgia is favored. I am going with Georgia. Roquan Smith, that's his name. Yes. Yeah, that was the guy. So, why do they favor Georgia? Bama never, and I mean never, loses when they aren't favored for a national championship game. I think this will be the first time. I think Georgia, that defense is just too good. They have better running backs. They have better tight ends. If this is a high-scoring game, then Alabama wins. I think this is going to be an ugly, low-scoring game. I think Alabama will struggle to stop the run. And I'm going to give it to Georgia. Georgia in an upset. Am I putting action on them? Oh, hell no. I am not betting on this game. Not betting on this game at all. But can you see 7 dubs depending what happens in free agency? I may see more. May see more. I want to see what happens in the draft, and I want to see what happens in free agency. But I mean, we could see more. Could see less too. Bama has a better overall team, but Georgia's got some dogs on defense. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure because Georgia has some. Alabama has one or two running backs that are injured. I'm told that I think their number one running back's injured, but Georgia has some really good running backs. And that freshman tight end, I have no idea who he is really good. I'm not sure if this is correct. Almost every other year would say that, but I think this Georgia team is really, really special. Yeah, I think Will Anderson in this draft this year would go number one. And I say that because if Jacksonville stays with a 3-4 defense, they have Josh Allen on one side, they would take Will Anderson and put him on the other side, and then they would take Chatham and I don't know. Maybe they just have three, or they may trade Chatham. They could trade Josh Allen, which I would not recommend. I love that guy, but I think Will Anderson in this draft would go number one. I think he's that good. The reason why he won't go number one next year is because that there'll be a quarterback available. So Alex is spot on. Yeah, I'm going to disagree. I think this is Georgia's year, but I would not bet on. I'm not going to bet on college, but I'm gonna say I think this is Georgia's year. I really do. JT, welcome, brother. NFL equals WW. Okay, I don't get that, but man, welcome. This does not look like spam. So, watch indeed. Yeah, how was the name Roquan? I loved Roquan Smith, and I remember when the Bears drafted him. I was like, is he really going to fit in a 3-4? But yeah, undersized linebackers have been fitting into 3-4 like Roquan. Roquan Smith is so good, so good. Nakobe Dean reminds me a lot of that, but if he's 5'10", 215, which some people are saying he's going to be, then I'm sorry. I don't see that translating to the NFL. I'm not sure Dean is not better suited for like a hybrid strong safety type of role in the NFL. But if he goes to a combine and he's 6 foot, 220, I don't know. Listen, 2 inches is this. I mean, this is 2 inches. We're looking at this is 2 inches. I get it. This is all 2 inches is. It means that much in the NFL. It really does. But if he's like 5'11", 220, 225, yeah, he'll play linebacker and he'll go in the first round. If he's 5'10", 215, I don't know what happens. But I think Nakobe Dean's measurements are going to be key. But if he measures in at 6 foot, 225, I think he'll run under 4.45. I don't remember what Roquan Smith ran off the top of my head, but he looks like he's a sub 4.5 guy. And I think whoever drafts Dean is going to get a treat because I think he's going to be a really good player. So Bama's undefeated when they aren't favored. I believe it. Yeah, I think that okay. Full disclosure, I actually thought Bama was a 2.5 point favorite. And then let me double check. I really did. I thought Bama was a 2.5 point favorite. It says Georgia, according to my bookie, which I was shocked because I actually thought it was flipped. So when I was doing show prep, I thought Alabama was 2.5. I'm actually shocked Georgia's favored, to tell you the truth. But I do like Georgia. I like Georgia in this one. So. I prefer Young over Bennett. Drawing a complete blank on both of those. Over under is 52.5. You like an under? Yes. I like the under. I like the under. I think Georgia is going to try to make this a very ugly game. I think they're going to just eat the clock up. They're going to use their running backs. They have some really, really good running backs. So yeah, I like the under. Alabama's offense, though, it does have so many playmakers. And so, I mean, there's going to be so many first-round players. But Mechie, remember, tore his ACL late in the year. I think one of the running backs is hurt. So I'm not going to put any action on that game. But, yeah, I like the under, and I like Georgia. I like Georgia to cover 2.5. I wouldn't be surprised if Lions trade up for Young. I don't know who that is off the top of my head. Is that what he's saying? Okay, listen, the NFL's not rigged. Anybody who says that, it's just silly. If anybody is going to say the NFL is rigged, it would be Chiefs fans after those terrible calls against the Bengals. But would the NFL want Kansas City to win or Cincinnati to win? And the answer is they would want Kansas City because Mahomes everywhere. Turn on ESPN or the NFL Network and see how long it takes before you see a Patrick Mahomes commercial. So if the NFL is rigged, the Chiefs would have won that poorly officiated game on Sunday. So that's what she. Right? Yeah, of course. This is not anything. They're building something really good. They're not ready. That offensive line is not good. Joe Burrow was injured in the Chiefs game. He's actually not playing this week, and he's not going to be healthy for the playoffs. Right now, what we could see is this would be a lot of fun, by the way, and we'll talk more about this next week, but we could see a Cincinnati, New England wild card game, and I'm not betting against New England in the playoffs against a banged up Burrow. I would actually take New England. Now that's going to be a game I'll put action on. I would take the way it looks like right now. It looks like New England against Cincinnati in the playoffs, and New England will win that game. So, but Hutch says he prefers Houston over Detroit. If he said that was not smart. But he should go to. All defensive ends in this draft would rather play for Lovie Smith's Tampa 2 defense than that 3-4 defense that under Aaron Glenn that Detroit runs. All of them would. But you shouldn't say it public. Alex, Cincinnati is the chosen team. God, I hope they can afford everyone into. Well, here's what will happen is I think that they'll pay T. Higgins, they'll pay Jamar Chase, they have to pay Burrow, they'll lose. He's one of my favorite players. I'm drawing a complete blank on his name. Complete blank. The slot receiver who's been the best receiver over the last 3 years. So I'm drawing a complete blank on his name. I'm bad with names. That's why you always call the girl baby. Kitty cat goes meow. A lot of Chiefs fans are mad at the officials. So is Andy Reid. If you didn't watch the Bengals Chiefs games, Tony Romo said at least 5 times that there were poor calls in the game. And now, if I say there's poor calls or any Chiefs fans say it, that's one thing. But when Tony Romo says it, that's something completely different. That's what he's. Hutch said he felt at home in Houston, would love to be drafted by the Texans when he played in this bowl. Okay, that's not saying Houston over Detroit. He's just saying Houston would be a great place. I'm sure you'll see another interview saying Detroit would be a great place. I would love to stay in the great state of Michigan. You'll hear that. You'll hear that. He said he wants to go. Why wouldn't he? They're their team picking in the top 5. He should also say the same thing about Jacksonville and the Detroit. Romo is my number one commentator. I absolutely love Tony Romo on TV. He's done an A+ job. CBS gave him like a $20 million a year contract or something crazy. I think Romo is amazing on TV. I think he's amazing. I think Aikman and Joe Buck, they do a world-class job. I think Joe Buck said something about the Royals, so I know like a lot of Kansas City Chiefs fans don't like him, but I think the Aikman Joe Buck team is amazing, and I love Tony Romo. I think he does a fantastic job. A lot of people say Greg Olson is doing a great job. Maybe it's just different flavors, but I would put him on a tier below. So, well, I don't want. Who would want to go to Jacksonville with Balky still there. Probably just have faith that Holmes gets the right pick. All right, man. God, you guys are on fire today. All right, so let's start with picking. It's really weird. It's like I'm getting like weird. Okay, I was getting anyway. All right, so let's start the NFL. Kansas City is an 11-point favorite at Denver. Normally, I would not take Kansas City to cover 11 on the road ever against a divisional opponent, and I'm not going to do it again. The money line's negative 540, so I'm not going to bet any amount of money on negative 540. However, the over-under is 45, and the reason why is that there's a chance of rain, which doesn't affect NFL teams. I think Kansas City is going to try for the 1 seed. I think they're going to try to run up the score. I think they're going to do everything they can. In a game, in a score that's like 34-10, you could see a garbage touchdown. That's kind of what happened against Pittsburgh. A buddy of mine had a parlay and he lost he took under on Kansas City and Pittsburgh. This is why I love the over. I hit up Denver Gator. I wanted to get an official weather report. Normally he's in the show. I hit him up on Twitter. I may even shoot him a text. He hasn't joined today, but once I get the official weather report, if it's even if it's just rain, the wind is low, but I like the over. I'm probably going to put action on the over. Next game on Saturday is Dallas at Philly. Dallas is a 4-point favorite. Both teams are in the playoffs no matter what, which is really, really cool. I believe Philly's in no matter what. And the same thing with Dallas. Dallas is going for playoff positioning. Same thing with Philly. This is going to be a fun game to watch. Over-under's 43. This is another game I like to over on. I have no idea about who's going to win, who's not going to win. But this is going to be a fun game to watch. So after my Chiefs win, and I'm really going to look forward to this one. Next game is Green Bay at Detroit. The Packers are a 3.5-point favorite. I have no idea who plays for the Packers in this one, but I'm actually looking forward to watching this because I'm expecting Jordan Love to be able to play, and I think there's a chance that if he plays really well or poorly, we could see some movement on Jordan Love. So, I mean, there's a chance if he plays really poorly, Green Bay may just want to move on and add a veteran quarterback. But I actually would recommend taking the Lions here because you're getting 3.5 on a game they probably will win against Green Bay's backups. So this is what I'm probably going to put some action on Detroit. I can't believe I'm saying it. You think the Texans are a shit organization? Well, there's another AFC South team you should look at. Hey, man, I'm going all of them. Just because I think Romo's a dingbat doesn't mean I think he sucks at his current job. Terry Bradshaw is a dingbat. And Terry Bradshaw acts like a dingbat, but he's actually a pretty bright dude. I love Terry Bradshaw. And I love Romo. So is Dallas? I don't know. I think they are because they could be the 4 seed or they could be the 2 seed. And if they're the 4 seed, you could end up playing Arizona. They don't want anything to do with Arizona. They want nothing to do with Arizona. So I think that they are going to play their starters. I don't have the official word on that, Jimmy. I love Gus Johnson, though. Drawing a blank on that. I don't trust Hurts. I can't ever put money on Philly. I would not bet on Philly, but I would bet on the over. Chiefs over Denver if the weather is subpar. Eagles over Cowgirls. Fly. Eagles fly. Washington over New York. Bad versus bad. Bengals over Browns just to finish off the division. I haven't hit that one yet. That game's off because Burrow's out. One or two other starters from Cincinnati is out. So I already got action on Lions. You got 3. Yeah, I love 3.5. If it stays at 3.5, I'm probably going to take the Lions too. I think it went up. So next game's Indianapolis at Jacksonville. Indianapolis is a 15-point favorite. I would not be surprised at all if Indianapolis covers. They are fighting for the playoffs. There's multiple playoff situations. I don't want to go over all of it. I would love to see Jonathan Taylor hit 2,000. I think he needs like 250 to do it. Don't be surprised if they try to do it, because they need to win no matter what. So I would never recommend taking a 15-point spread in the NFL. However, I would not be surprised if Indianapolis covers this. The over-under is 44. I haven't checked the weather report. I like the over on this one as well. Packers said they will play all their starters because 3 weeks off seems like a long time not to be in real game action. I think they'll play to the third quarter. Okay. I'm glad you told me. I wasn't aware. I actually thought Jordan Love was starting, so I'm glad you said that. But yeah. Steelers over Baltimore, Big Ben finally. I need that. Packers over Lions, just the way it goes. Jags over Colts. They haven't won in Jacksonville for the last 8 years. Though I disagree. Jacksonville's not winning that game. I would bet almost anything on that. I might take Dallas. They've been dominant against the spread versus division opponents, and -4 doesn't seem that scary against the Eagles. That's kind of what I'm thinking too, Jimmy. That's kind of why I'm kind of not going to pass, but I like the over on this one because I'm not buying into Dallas having a dominant defense like people are saying. I'm seeing Cowboys fans talk about Diggs and Parsons being defensive players of the year. That's not really the case. Don't get me wrong. Both guys are having great seasons, but they're not defensive player of the year. Well, Parsons is a candidate, believe it or not, but I don't think that they are the best defensive players in the league. Philly's just been playing good, man. Philly's been playing good, and it'll be interesting. This is kind of a weird game, but I do like the over. I'm going to pass on that, but I do like the over. So, Alex, you're no longer a laughing stock. It's now the Giants or Jackson. I see the Bears going after Bieniemy. Maybe, but here's the deal. Matt Nagy was the Chiefs' offensive coordinator. So I don't see the Chiefs going that route, or I'm sorry, I don't see the Bears going after another Chiefs offensive coordinator again. I am more than likely, usually not always, but usually if you have an offensive guy, you go with a defensive guy, or you go with a guy from a different scheme or system. Bieniemy and Nagy have different types of personalities, though. I think Bieniemy would be very coveted somewhere, and I do expect him to get a head coaching job. Bieniemy would be a good fit there, and the reason why I say that is because he's worked with Mahomes, and there's some similarities between Fields and Mahomes. I think that if Bieniemy thinks he can turn Fields into Mahomes, he'll be greatly disappointed. But I could see that. I could see that. I don't think that they're going to tap into the Chiefs pool again, but it wouldn't be a bad hire. We'll have to wait and see. But the Bears situation is going to be interesting. Very interesting. Yes. Take a Jonathan Taylor prop bet. I don't think I'll probably take one myself, even though I vowed to get off of prop bets. I'll probably take one. He blew up against Jacksonville last time they played. Indy hasn't won in Jackson 10 years. No, I'm not. No, I'm not touching 15. I'm not touching 15, but I do like the over though. My blood will boil if Indy. Vikings over Bears. No Chicago offense. Houston over Titans. Haven't split a season since 16. Every Chiefs fan in the world wants Houston over Titans. Matter of fact, let me do that one real fast. Tennessee's a 10.5-point favorite at Houston. I would love nothing more than for Houston to win, but I don't see it. I think Tennessee pulls out all stops. I think that they win this game probably covered. Over under 42.5. I know both teams play good defenses, but it's a low number. You may want to take the over on this one. I would never take Tennessee to cover 10.5, but I do unfortunately think they win. But I will be like every other Chiefs fan cheering for the Houston Texans. New Orleans over Atlanta. The Fumble Kings will lose. Cards over Seattle. Bird fight. We'll go over all those. We'll see how you do. D-Law has an off game. The Cowboys will struggle in defense. Yeah, I agree with that. Now I have that's it. That's a weird game because are those two teams Okay. Get this fucker. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Hold on here. Block motherfucker. Yeah. Any bullshit like that. Just get rid of that, guys. Bills over Jets, Bucks over Panthers. Panthers offense is a joke. That we haven't touched base. We had some Panthers fans joining the show for a while. They haven't been in, but I'm anxious to see what the Panthers do this offseason. Do they go after a quarterback in free agency? Do they want to draft a quarterback? Panthers are going to be a fun team to watch in free agency in the draft. I keep saying that over and over again, but man, good luck. Is Tennessee getting hit for the playoffs? I don't think he's playing this week, but he is for the playoffs. That's why they want to get that number 1 seed, that extra week of rest. And that's also big for the Kansas City Chiefs, who got both tackles injured in the Cincinnati game. Orlando Brown is still up in the air. It's not official that he's going to play against Denver in a game they really need to win. It's not really a playoff game, but they really want to win. They don't want to be a potential third. I think the worst they could do is third, because Cincinnati does hold the tiebreaker. So yeah, for the playoffs. Alex, are you picking against the spread, or he just picking wins? He just picks wins. Next game, Washington at the New York Giants. Washington is a 7-point favorite. The over-under is 37.5. Normally I would bulk at any over-under 37.5, but this just looks like a garbage game. I would hesitate to take Washington to cover 7, but I kind of like Washington to cover 7. I think both teams are really just kind of looking to end out the season. I think Joe Judge, even though there has been public support for him, I would not be surprised if he's on the hot seat and maybe gets and I got another game here. This by the way has dropped dramatically. Pittsburgh is a 3.5-point dog at Baltimore. Pittsburgh was a 5-point dog, which was the bet I made. I took Pittsburgh 5 and I got 5 points. Of course, I need Pittsburgh to win this game, so I got 5 points right now. If you want to jump on the Pittsburgh bandwagon and get 3.5. I have no idea what happened because I made this bet. This morning, so I have no idea what happened for the 1.5 points. I'm guessing Baltimore had some players on COVID or IR or something. I didn't have a chance to look at it, but I know Pittsburgh has some injuries. They're out their starting center, somebody else. But Pittsburgh's fighting for the playoffs. I actually like Pittsburgh to win. I'm not going to take the money line, but I got 5 points. So, yeah, I'm going to take 5. Cincinnati is at Cleveland. Cleveland's a 6-point favorite. Remember, Joe Burrow is out. Somebody else is also out. A lot of talk about Cleveland not liking Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, I don't think is playing. He's had some injuries. The backup quarterback, he was god damn it, I forgot his name. He was the guy who got some MVP votes in Minnesota for the Minneapolis Miracle, and then went to the Rams for a while. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he's a more than capable backup. The over-under is 37.5. I haven't checked the weather report yet. Cleveland, I like Cleveland to cover 6. Why not? Cincinnati, just get healthy for the playoffs. Miami easily routes New England. The curse continues. All right, let me see here. Next one I got is New England at Miami. For those of you that don't know, New England has not been able to win in Miami. It's a weird thing. Miami is a 6.5-point dog. I don't know about a route, but New England's playing for a playoff position. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Over unders 40. Both teams have good defenses. I actually, believe it or not, I actually kind of like New England in this one. Am I taking 6.5? Oh, hell no, because they struggle in Miami. I might just for fun take Miami in 6.5, but I do like New England to win. So it's kind of a tough one. Next one, Jets at Buffalo. Buffalo's a 16-point favorite trying to win the East. I would be shocked if they didn't win. I don't know about covering 16 though. That's a big number. Dan, how many Jonathan Taylor rushing yards? First instinct 200. All right. I'm not being facetious. 200. I am not being facetious. I really think that he'll get 30 to 40 carries. He had you know what? Let's look. Let's look. Let's do this here. I'm going to find out for you because I know he had a big game against Jacksonville. Here, hold on here. Let me see here. I'm looking this up as we speak. 1734 is his 1734, so he needs 267. And he only had 116. He only had 116. But he's gone over 100 the last 4 games. And he's had 32, 29, 27, and 20 carries. For some reason, they only gave him 20 carries against the Raiders. Raiders did a good job, but against Jacksonville, 21 carries, 116 yards, 6 receptions for 10 yards. Really weird. I mean, you know, he had 83 yards against Tampa, one of the better run defenses, 185 against Buffalo. But yeah, I mean, without doing the math in my head, but let's say his last 6, 185, 83, 143, 170, 108, 108. Off the top of my head, that's averaging over 130. I'm not joking. I mean, you know, go high, go high. I had a rumor that Baker asked for, Case Keenum. That was the name. There's all sorts of crazy rumors, but Baker Mayfield went public saying that there's no problems in Cleveland. He loves Cleveland. Here's the deal, is that before the season started, Cleveland lowballed him. They gave him a 3-year, $93 million extension. And Baker's like, no. And that's what he should do. He should say no, even though that makes a lot of sense because, like, that's kind of a middle of the pack money. Baker Mayfield's a middle of the pack quarterback. However, Josh Allen signed a 6-year, $256 million contract. Mahomes, of course, had the $500 million contract. Deshaun Watson had a 4-year, $180 million contract. So that's kind of what you're looking at. And that's what Baker wants. Baker wants that, 40 to 50 million type money, and everybody here is going to say, I would work for 30 million. It's one thing to say that, but when you're offered 30 million and you could get 40 or 45, his agent and he's doing the right thing. So no, that's probably not true. But that Baker Mayfield situation in Cleveland, that's a tough one, because if you're Cleveland, do you really want to get Baker Mayfield $40 to $50 million? Keep in mind, without him, you're a winless team, and you have Baker. You win a playoff game, which sounded impossible at the time. So that's going to be a tough situation. But no, he doesn't want to trade, and he's been public in saying that. So the Pats in Miami is like, yeah, it is. But yeah. TDs. I would stick with one. I wouldn't be surprised if they like getting a goal to go, you get a Carson Wentz sneak or something like that. So yeah. I haven't heard of Baker asking for a trade. I think regardless of him asking for one or not, the Browns are going to move him in the near future. It's going to be a definite fun situation. I don't see us getting a 5 tech, but definitely an outside linebacker pass rusher. Well, that's the thing though. Me and Funk disagree, but Funk thinks Thibodeau's a 3-4 outside linebacker. I don't see that, but I understand where Funk coming from. But the thing is with a guy like Hutchinson is that you can move him around. You can use him as a 5 tech. You could use him as an outside linebacker. You could use him as a nickel pass rusher, because you play usually with a base 4 defensive lineman. That's kind of the reason why I think Hutchinson makes a lot of sense in Detroit, because you could use him as a 5 technique, just like Joey Bosa's used in now LA, but originally in San Diego his rookie year. I remember his rookie year, they were going to use him as a 5 technique. And I was thinking, this is stupid. This is not going to work. In his rookie year, he missed the first 4 weeks of the season, but the last 12 games, he had 12 sacks and was dominant, just dominant as a rookie. And so I was like, okay. All right. I was wrong. And so that's kind of what I see from Hutchinson. So I got you. I missed that. So I thought, okay, I would take it. I would take it. And the reason why is that, if he's close, if he has anything close to 100 at the start of the second half, and it's within 10 points, let's just say 14-6 at halftime, and he has like 98 yards, then they're going to try to get him 2,000. And I really believe that he wants 2,000. I really think that they're going to do that. And another thing is that Jacksonville just wants the season to end. They're not going to be playing balls to the wall to stop the run. And in Indianapolis, their best chance of winning is running the football. I like the bet. I like the bet. I'm probably going to take a Jonathan Taylor prop too, even though I said I wouldn't. Alex, they definitely shouldn't bring Baker back, and they can make a commercial of him getting evicted. You know, those commercials, I normally hate commercials, but I love those Baker Mayfield commercials. I really do. I think those are great. Baker and golf are not much very good. I get what you mean, Dan, but Baker doesn't deserve that Watson Allen money. He just isn't that good and probably doesn't deserve the draft position in retrospective. Here's the deal. I predicted, and as of right now, I'm dead wrong, that Mason Rudolph would be better than Baker Mayfield. He would have a better career, and as of right now, I'm wrong. I was not that high on Baker Mayfield. I really wasn't. And Baker Mayfield is trying to get that big money. He's not worth it. If I was Baker Mayfield, when they offered me 3 years, $93 million, I would try to extend it, but I would have no problem taking less money. If I'm Baker Mayfield, I stay in Cleveland. I keep making those progressive commercials, and I take less money and go to the playoffs. Because if he gets bigger money, he can't. I'm stealing this from the Around the Six podcast with Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks. You have the tractor and you have the trailer. All right. Baker Mayfield, despite of what he's done so far, and he has done some good things, is the trailer. All right. The tractor in Cleveland is the defense and the running game, specifically Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's as good as it gets, except for a healthy Derrick Henry. But I think Nick Chubb is actually right below Jonathan Taylor. Anyway, best offensive player is Nick Chubb on the Cleveland Browns. All right, not even close. Baker Mayfield's done some good things. He's not worth Watson, Allen, Mahomes money. And Cleveland knows this. But Baker Mayfield's doing the smart thing because there is a team out there that will give him the big money. It may not be Cleveland. It might be Cleveland. But that's going to be a very, very interesting situation. And you never know what's going to happen. I mean, I off the top of my head, I'm kind of going through teams that he could go to. I mean, seriously, what happens if the New York Giants want to go ahead and give him $40 million a year? They may move on from Daniel Jones and say, hey, look, we need a guy. I don't know. They would make a commercial of them evicting Baker from the Browns. That would be awesome. By the way, that would not happen. There's no way that the Browns would be on board with that. But I would love it. And those commercials are great. Tim would be a 3-4 outside linebacker in Detroit. We run an under scheme into Weebo on the line. Yeah, he in Detroit. If they keep a 3-4 scheme, Tibb would be like an outside linebacker, and then he would play a lot on the line, just like Justin Houston and Tom Bali did in Kansas City. And I don't think that's really where he would excel at. I think that his perfect position would be as a 4-3 defensive end. But yeah, if Detroit picked Thibodeau, he would play outside linebacker and then play on the line a lot. Or Detroit should do what I've been saying they should do from the very beginning: scrap that goofy 3-4 scheme that they're doing, just run a pure 4-3, add more speed to that front seven. And that's really what they should do. And if they draft Thibodeau, don't be surprised if they kind of scrap that 3-4 and just run a base 4-3. Should be a Super Bowl commercial. It would be awesome, Alex. It would be awesome. It would be awesome. Funk, I disagree with the golf take. Golf, even though he's not an amazing quarterback, I still a somewhat competitive guy. Baker Mayfield is not. That's interesting. You know, Baker Mayfield better than Golf, or Golf better than Baker Mayfield. It's kind of interesting, you know. They take a linebacker at the Rams pick, maybe Ojabo. Or I've seen a lot of mock drafts where he's just skyrocketing up. The higher up he goes, the more that. Hold on. Yeah, I'm blocking this motherfucker. I'm seeing Ojabo, and I'm probably butchering that name. I'm seeing him going really high. I'm seeing top 10. So, next game I got on the list is Carolina at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's an 8-point favorite. I love Tampa Bay. I actually like the over in this one, even though both teams play good defense. The reason why is I could see Carolina getting a garbage touchdown. They actually called me and asked me if I wanted to play quarterback. I don't know what's going on in Carolina. There's talk about the coach being fired. He's staying. Don't buy into that. But I like Tampa Bay to cover. Also like the over in this one here. But you know, take 8 at your own risk. But I think it's pretty safe, to be perfectly honest. Next game is Saints at Falcons. Saints are a 3.5-point favorite. Saints are fighting for the playoffs. This is one of the all-time great rivalries in sports. I actually like the Saints in this one. Even though this is a great rivalry, I do like the Saints. Over under 40. Both offenses are hard to watch, but I do like the Saints to cover. I would love 3. I don't get burned by the hook, but I do like the Saints to win this one. Next game we got Seattle at Arizona. Arizona's a 6-point favorite. Arizona's in the playoffs, still have an outside chance to win the division if San Francisco 49ers can beat the Rams. Seattle, of course, did not cover 10 wins, and they're out, but they've been playing better the last couple of weeks. It'll be interesting to see what they do. There's talk about Russell Wilson. There was talk this season about Russell Wilson, but this is going to be a fun game. I would not count on Arizona here, but gut instinct is that they'll cover 6. So Seattle can pay Baker. Why not? They paid Matt Flynn, and they just sat him anyway. Okay, here's the deal with the Matt Flynn. They signed Matt Flynn. Then they drafted Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. Now, 3rd round quarterback. A lot of people didn't like that pick, but Pete Carroll's kind of, going by what he saw. And in training camp, Russell Wilson kept on outperforming him. And then the 3rd game in the preseason, they said, okay, you get a shot. And he took it, and they won. And Matt Flynn was public. He's like, look, I'm not a rah-rah, yell and scream type of guy that Pete Carroll likes. And a lot of people blasted Pete Carroll thinking he made a dumb decision, but he made the right move. Matt Flynn's never been a starter, and Russell Wilson, I think, will end up in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So, yeah. Some team will want to pay Baker Mayfield the big money. I firmly believe that. It may be Cleveland. That's an interesting situation because Cleveland, I think, knows that they can go to the playoffs with Baker Mayfield. I think that they're thinking themselves, if everything works out, they can continue and grow. If they give Baker Mayfield the big money, that ends. And I think they know that. But is there a team that can pay Baker Mayfield that's not Cleveland? Absolutely. I just gave you the Giants. Giants absolutely could give Baker Mayfield big time money. Absolutely. So trying to think of another team off the top of my head. I think the Houston Texans are going to go with Davis Mills. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't like Davis Mills for whatever reason. They won Baker Mayfield. I think that they're going to stick with Davis Mills personally, but I've seen weirder things. But yeah, I'm the Giants off the top of my head. So I might take Cooper Kupp, 169 yards for 400. He needs 171 to get 2,000 yards himself. The San Francisco secondary is a little weak. And actually, let me go over that game real fast because I need the Rams to win. And the Rams are 4.5-point favorite at home. San Francisco's had the number with the Rams, which I think ends, but over-under is 44.5. I think San Francisco may try the double cup, even though that's against their kind of defensive scheme. They may try to prevent that. I would like to see him get that. That's not a bad bet, but I really think in order to win this game, and the Rams do need to win this game, the guy that's going to need to come up big, which is in a clutch situation, I always worry would be OBJ, and he's been playing better. He has more. He's been more productive for the Rams. So OBJ, you may want to look at prop bets for OBJ. If you do take that bet, please let me know. Email me or hit me up on social media. Let me know if you do take that bet. I will definitely be pulling for you. Of course, I need the Rams to win. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on there, Jimmy. So, Russians, I don't know what the hell's going on. Ken Dorsey for Lions offensive coordinator. I've always liked Ken Dorsey. For those of you that don't know, he played quarterback at the University of Miami when they were winning national championships in the 2000s. Apparently, there's a story. He came from Washington, of all places. It's hard to believe the Miami Hurricanes recruited a kid from Washington. He's like 6'5", 150 or 160, according to the person who was telling this. And they're like, so how many of you think that you could step in today and start for this great Miami Hurricanes team? And Ken Dorsey stood up and said, yeah, I can start today. And everybody was like, what the hell? Because he looked like a string bean. And he ended up, I think, starting as either a freshman or a sophomore. And those Hurricane teams that he quarterbacked were great. He wasn't built for the NFL game, but he's a smart dude. Real smart dude. And I think he'll be an NFL head coach someday. He'll be an NFL head coach someday. But I remember that story. I thought that was a great story. Here's this 17-year-old. I mean, you have to realize at the time, the Miami Hurricanes were the premier team in college football. And here's this kid from Washington who like I said, he's 6'5", like 160. And he's like, I can start. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I almost put action on it. I almost took that too. I got 4.5 right now. I almost took that, but yeah. I'm afraid the Rams, Stafford might force the ball. I could see that. So, Music City guy, what's up, brother? What's up, Dan? Wish I could have gotten your take on the unders on the Jags. I saw from a mile away Urban would not be a good pro coach. With the Jags game. What do I got? Okay. Over under. Oh boy. It's 44. I haven't checked the weather report. I would never take an NFL team to cover 15. But over under 44 for Jacksonville, Indy. I really don't know. Because I think Indianapolis, what they really want to do is I really think that they're going to run the ball. So I could see a low scoring game, and I could see a low scoring game be like 24-7. Because I'm not joking when I say this. It would not surprise me if Jonathan Taylor blows up. I really think that there's a chance he may get 40 carries in this game because the Colts are going all out. With the Jags, I have no idea. I think they're just going to lay down. I mean, they're just ready for the offseason. I don't see them playing hard at all. So in a situation like that, two schools of thought. I mean, because of 44, you could see like what the Chiefs and Steelers did a couple of weeks ago is you could see you're talking under for okay, under 6. Okay. Yeah. I like the over, if I remember right, because I actually thought Urban Meyer would work. You called it though. You called it. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that would really work in Detroit. I hate to tell you, Goff and Josh Allen, two completely different types. I said this when he was drafted, like nobody has more upside, but I wasn't sure it would work, and he's done a great job. But if you're going to go that route, then you're going to want to draft somebody with a lot of potential in 2023. And so I don't know. I don't know. Colts going to cover and take JT on the over on yards. Yeah, I'm gonna put a JT. I'm gonna get a prop bet. I have no idea, but Jimmy, if you put down over 176 for 6, man, I'm pulling for you. I'm probably gonna put one myself. So, final game on the docket is going to be a good one. Chargers play the Raiders. Winner goes to the playoffs. Loser stays home. Raiders at home are a 3-point dog. I like the Raiders. If the Steelers cover, I will probably put action on the Raiders. Couple bets I may make. I'm waiting to hear from Denver Gator what the official weather report is, but I'll probably take the over for 45 for Chiefs and Broncos once I hear back from Denver Gator. He hasn't joined the show. He's been a regular. I sent him a message on Twitter before the show. I was hoping to hear from him during the show to get the official weather report. But once I hear the official weather report in Denver, I might put over 45 anyway. I think the Chiefs are really going to win this one big. And then Jonathan Taylor prop bets probably in play. I don't have it listed right now, but once it's available on my bookie, I'll probably take the over on that one as well. I have action. The only game I have action on right now is I got Pittsburgh at 5. I got Pittsburgh as a 5-point dog. Right now it's 3.5. I do like Pittsburgh actually to win that game. So I think Jag players want to go out hard, especially with rival Indy coming to town, so I wouldn't count out the Jags. I don't see that. They know they're getting a new head coach and a new system. I think that they're just done. And Indianapolis needs this win. I don't see it, but I've been wrong before. But remember, Indianapolis is fighting for the playoffs. Jacksonville is getting a whole new coaching staff. So Ken Dorsey worked with Campbell. I did not know that. Ken Dorsey would be a good fit in Detroit. I really like that. And Ken Dorsey kind of has a similar build to Jared Goff. So I think that'd be a good fit. So you put action. Yeah, I feel good about it too, man. I feel good about it. This is such. I love hearing this. I love hearing when people put action on games. So let's do it. All right, hey guys. It's tea. It's not anything special, but I'm gonna wrap it up. I got action on Pittsburgh. That's the only thing I got. I'm gonna wait till I hear from Denver Gator, and then I'm gonna put action probably on over. I may take that anyway. Jonathan Taylor prop bet, probably putting action on that. And then if everything hits, I may press my luck and take the Raiders in 3 to end the season. Next week's show is going to be great. We're going to talk about the playoffs, which I'm really, really excited about. After the playoffs are over, we're going to dive deep into the draft. I'm going to do a lot more research. I've already looked at, I'm going to say 100 to 200 mock drafts already. I use the Draft Network quite a bit, and I've gone over multiple big boards. That's why I saw Breece Hall somewhere between 120 and 140, and he's a guy I think that could sneak into the first round with a really, really good combine. I got kind of a man crush on him. But we're going to be doing a lot of draft stuff as soon as the playoffs and the Super Bowl is over. I'm still going to be on live every Friday. After the combine's over, I'm going to have daily draft videos Monday through Friday until the draft. The plan was to do a Black Monday show. However, I do have to visit my mom. So I don't know if I'm going to go live or if I'm going to do a video, but I worst case scenario, I like doing a Black Monday show. It's kind of a tradition, but I wasn't able to see my mom for Christmas. Excuse me. So the plan was to visit her on Monday. So we'll have to see here. So anyway, you got to get off this tea or coffee or anything. This is just normal herbal tea. It's God, what is it? I had my it was an old girlfriend got me, like, I had a cold and she brought me like 7 things of herbal tea, and it's like 2 years old, but it's fine. Energy drinks, I'm trying to quit. I got like 4 in the fridge. I didn't drink one today. Have a great one, Dan. Great show. Be back next week. Hopefully, good night. God bless. Hey, man, good night. God bless. Everybody, give me a thumbs up on the way out. Alex, thanks, brother. I'm in a 100K prize pool playoff pick'em league. I have 2 entries. Tune in Friday. I'm going to go over all the playoff games. Also, energy. Damn you, auto. What the hell did you say? Okay. Music City Guy. Hey, Music City Guy, as much as I love having you here on the show, I am cheering very hard against you. I really want my Chiefs to get the 1 seed, not you guys. If you guys enter the playoffs as the 1 seed and healthy, you are the best team in the AFC, and that sucks for Chiefs fans. Pride next year will be Deuce Staley and Ben Johnson. That would be very interesting. Okay, guys, I'm going to end on that. I'll see everybody next week for the playoffs.